Hi everyone. So I did my tarot reading a little bit differently today. I went in and I shuffled my cards, and it was a monumental spread. I'm doing a reading right now for the divine masculines, and this is a message that basically their soul is trying to tell them right now, and they're getting sort of these inkling feelings. They're getting these nudges from the divine, but they're still not listening. They're still very much in this space of really resisting the messages that are coming through. So as you can see, this is a monumental pack. So what I've done is I've taken all of those cards and I've gone, okay, Spirit, so talk to me about this message and how we're going to deliver it to the collective so it can be seen. So what I've asked them to do is throw the cards from your souls to mine and throw the cards on the table to basically talk about what's going on right now in the masculine energy collective. So we have the Four of Cups here. Now, as you can see, she's pretty much like, she's tired, she's fed up, she's jaded, she's got her singing sound bowls here. I feel like there's a lot of pull around, you know, this is the beautiful divine rainbow that's coming through here, like it's kind of like being at a crossroads, you know, one foot in A, one foot in B, and Spirit is saying it's time to really trust where your heart is pulling you right now, not necessarily your logical mind. You're getting downloads like crazy at the moment as regards to where to go in your life, and I feel this is like bringing you a lot of conflict. And so maybe this is tied to the Six of Cups, and this is, you know, this is basically going back, having a bit of nostalgia, going back. Maybe a spirit guide right now is one of your pets. Maybe your pets are saying to go back inwards and remember. Maybe it's telling you to go and revisit some childhood friends. But something is coming up here, and it's conflicting you in a way. So potentially something has happened in your past that maybe is telling you now it's time to heal your heart from it. And maybe this thing in the past is just actually what's stopping you from moving forward into planting both of your feet into that A or that B, whichever your soul sort of decides. So this is the energy I'm getting, is there's a lot of kind of like nostalgia thinking, a lot of thinking of what if, you know, a lot of recalling the past. And you know, anyone will tell you it's perfectly okay to be in the past, but staying in the past only, yeah, it only causes you to wonder what if, you know, it only causes you a little bit of pain and anxiety, you know, but it's okay to look at the past, and it's okay to go back inwards and really sort of address the things that are holding you to the past, or, you know, maybe some pain that you have tried to pack away and not dealt with. I'm really being pulled to the dog on here, so I feel like this has got something to do with you know, someone's best friend, you know, because obviously the dog is a symbolism of the loyalty and the best friend. Maybe there's someone that you were super loyal to in your childhood, and now actually you're realizing that this loyalty has actually caused you a lot of misdirection in your life. And I don't know why I'm saying that, but I'm definitely being called to the words loyalty. And that sort of signifies, you know, maybe your dog was your best friend. Maybe you told your dog everything. And maybe you're really missing that, because since that dog has gone, or that loyalty that was true, it was unconditional. Maybe this is something that's really being highlighted right now. You know, remember what unconditional love is. Unconditional love is being able to speak to someone about anything, your truth, and not having any judgment in your life. So yeah, I feel like this message is definitely around, you know, going inwards and doing a bit of a life audit, you know, maybe, you know, people from your past, if they're coming back up for you now in dreams or conversations, or their names are coming back up, or they're repetitive. I'm getting a really itchy nose. I feel like this is true. If they're coming back up for you in those repetitive patterns, basically this is just like you're missing something, you're yearning something. Are you missing, you know, are you missing the dog? Are you missing the loyalty? Are you missing the unconditional love? And are you not finding that within yourself? Or are you starting to become very jaded with the people around you because you keep giving, like the dog, unconditional love, and you're just not kind of getting it back? So yeah, these are two big cards to start opening with, this melancholy kind of like feeling. So Spirit, can you show me what next needs to be heard Okay, so we got the King of Cups here. Interestingly, another cup, but you see it's very much talking around the throat chakra, and he's also got a little bit of the sacral there, so the reds and the orangey color, the sacral and the roots, but I would probably say this is more sacral, and obviously you've got the throat chakra colors surrounding him, and water. So water is definitely go with the flow and going within and being in that sort of divine feminine energy and allowing yourself to be so, so maybe something about this past has kept you stuck in what you consider a path that you are now stuck in, and your soul is saying, hey dude, like we've tried it your way, it's not working, let me take a little bit of this control. But for me to do this, we kind of have to do some healing work around where you can find this peace to be in flow and this trust to be in flow. And interestingly, every single one of these has got sound bowls on. So to me, this maybe also says that your soul is pointing you in the right direction. Pointing you in a direction of maybe some sound healing. Maybe there's something coming up there from a frequency point of view, from a hertz point of view, that if you are contemplating looking at sound healing at the moment, maybe you are going to be part of sound healing. Maybe this is something that your soul is pulling you towards. If you keep seeing things about sound bowls or Tibetan sound bowls or something around sound, this could be your soul pulling you to bring you some soul remembrance and how powerful these bowls are to actually basically retune ourselves. Sound is an incredible thing to retune our minds basically, and our bodies, and align with spirit. So I do think that even though these cards are very kind of indigenous and they're very spiritual kind of energy of them, this is the third one that's come out with the sound healing. So I always make sure I look at that. But yeah, so far I feel like there is a lot of stuckness in what's going on. Spirit, can you tell me what message is next for the Divine Masculine and make it clear? You tell me what message is next for the Divine Masculine and make it clear. So we have the King of Swords, we have the Seven of Wands, we have the High Priestess energy. She just basically flew out of my hand, so I'm going to put that one first. And then we have the Nine of Cups, again another cup with lots of singing bowls on. So the High Priestess energy, this is the divine feminine flow. Okay, this is the basically remembering who you are as an incredibly connected person to spirit, incredibly connected person. We are souls having a human experience, not the other way round. And maybe right now you're starting to really realize that. Maybe you are starting to embark on the idea of something that can recalibrate you in this paradigm and actually lift you into something of a little bit more of a divine alignment. But this is saying yes, whatever it is right now, whatever you're looking into from a spiritual point of view, this is saying yes, trust it, follow it, because this is going to help you with the answers, and this is going to help you plant your feet in that A or that B, whichever you want to do, and fully commit to it and basically heal what is coming up from here. And give you this peace, this Zen kind of vibe feeling. But, again, this all has to be from an action. So even though this card holds so much feminine energy, this is the divine feminine, this is the wisdom keeper of spirit, this is the connection. This is such a powerful, powerful card. But this is also around now, spirit is telling me to take action with this energy that's coming to you. If you are starting to feel like, maybe I am going to step back and let, my soul lead me for a while. Maybe I have tried it my way and tried to shoehorn myself into things and it's just not aligning anymore and it doesn't feel right. Then listen to your High Priestess energy that is coming through right now. You're an incredibly strong spiritual being. And I know that this is a number of the Divine Masculines out there that are forcing themselves not to hear this because they don't believe. There's this broken paradigm when we talk about feminine energy to assume that it's the female energy. And if we're talking to people who are, more in the alpha space, of course, in today's society, and I'm sorry to be very upfront here, but I've had this experience myself when I have been working in Spain. When you talk to people about feminine energy, very, very much a patriarchal society and a particular version of an alpha, they get their back up so quickly when you start talking about high priestess energy or feminine energy, because they associate it with the female, right? And the female is a different association depending on how we've been brought up, our conditioning, the people that we've basically trusted in our path, so this is about asking you, what do you feel the feminine energy is within you? What does it mean to you? And maybe even put down that word, feminine energy, write it down on a piece of paper, do a little spider diagram and start putting, offshoots off and go, okay, well, what does it actually mean to me? And why would I be offended by it? Why am I offended by talking about a spiritual connection to God? Why am I offended with the fact that the feminine energy is about the creatrix of my destiny, of my life, and tuning into my soul? Why does this intimidate me so much? And then we have the King of Swords. Now, I love this card. You've got the owl here, which I always associate with the ancestors. And the king is a masculine energy, so it's an action taker. This is saying it's time to sit with your shadows. It's time to really, I don't like using the word cut through because cutting hurts, but it is time to transmute these shadows into love. And it's time to find the power and the wisdom of your ancestors, your feminine energy, your spiritual connection. You are so protected and guided right now to start opening this box, to actually reveal what your truth is in this lifetime. And anyone I'm talking to right now will be feeling massively conflicted, because the confliction energy has been in the ether probably for about 2 or 3 months since we've been kind of pounded with these incredible love frequencies from Gaia, these solar flares that are coming in to defrost and basically calcify our chakras and open up our heart. And no matter how much we try to keep it closed, God is showing to us right now, you want to move forward in your life, you want to move forward and trust that you deserve more, then it's time to go back in and open this heart and actually deal with some of this stuff. It's time to take action and believe in the wisdom that is coming through from God's source, your connection, no one else's, your connection to your divine spirit guides. To start with, then you'll realize that it's all as one with your higher self and you integrating that in to your journey. And here we go here. It's just another 2 cards out around extremely powerful energies. And then we have another Zen card of just being in the space, being in the bubble that they create, going inwards. She's holding here her prayer hands over her heart. This is very much all the chakras kind of being part as one. It is very much just trust right now what it's going to take to actually find this inner peace, and try and push through the conflict and I guess the competition side of things that you're having with yourself. Just try. If there's an ego death coming up for you guys, and those in the divine masculine energy space, I'm not talking guys, I'm just talking guys in general. If there's an ego death about to come up for you and you can feel it, you can't stop it. No matter how much you try, you will be continually pulled to have this ego death. And it may be over someone, it may be over something, but if it's not coming with you into the new earth, if it's not coming with you into your divine alignment, it will be shown. And you can keep putting your head in the sand, you can keep turning away from it, but it will find you. It will definitely find you, because it's supposed to be dealt with and to be left there and dealt with, processed, gone within, and then step into a new kind of process of how we deal with things. And then again, that comes with that connection. 9 of Cups, another Cups. You see, she's completely elated. She's got here, she's jumping. I say she, it's the energy of the card. She's jumping out of this treasure chest. She's got the singing bowls again, and this is all about the solar plexus. Look at those beautiful divine colors of gold and pure power of the sun. The sun, the masculine energy, the light. It is incredible, this card, and it is so much like leaping for joy, because it's almost like They finally listened, and they're now like jumping because they're finally allowing themselves to be powerful. They're finally allowing themselves to have this connection with God, have this connection with spirit in the way that they are now mature adults and can choose what connection they have with God. It doesn't have to be in a church. Church could be your nature. It doesn't even have to be a religious connection. What I'm saying is here is that you now get to choose your relation and your connection to your divine feminine, to the power of Mother Earth, to Gaia, to anything you want to call it. But this is your choice now. And when you do find your connection, you are going to feel so much more powerful here. And when you have that sort of reclaimed power in your solar plexus, it's this strength around you. It's this walking into a room knowing that no one, no matter what anyone says to you, oh, what, you freaking hippie? You live in a van? Oh, what, you're into all that spiritual shit? Yeah, man, that's fucking for women, blah, blah, blah. Don't know why I'm saying this. Maybe some of you are experiencing this right now. Maybe you're actually at night, like Googling this stuff because you're so embarrassed that people might find out that you're starting to learn about frequency and soul bowls and actually starting to see that there's a different way of life and start to question things. But this is confirmation. Try not to let anyone take this from you, because this is your power, no one else's. And it's time to start realizing that you control what goes into this solar plexus, and you control who takes that power from you as well. Spirit, thank you so much for that message. Please, can you bring forward the soul messages that are needed to be heard from the masculine collective? Okay, we have the Empress, beautiful, Strength, another Cup, the 7, and the Wheel, all very, very powerful cards. Now you see why I did it in a 2-part process. So the Empress, guys, here we are. Beautiful divine feminine card. Once again, remember, we're talking creation energy. You see here, this is the new earth that we're creating right now, guys. This is the incredible new earth that we are creating in balance of the moon, of the solar, of all the chakra alignments, of the spiritual healing. Even the word spiritual now is coming up with labels that people are like getting a little bit, or do I want to be associated with this whole thing of spirituality, because it's going off on a different tangent. But what's important here is what's important for you. And it's time to start shutting out the noise and believing in yourself that you can create this world in a different way. If you at the moment are faced between going through jobs and you're just not wanting to necessarily apply for jobs in your old space, and you want to try something new, this is just confirmation. You do the work, you shed the layers, you take your power back, you can create your new world. And that will look differently to so many people. This is your soul journey, no one else's. This is a message from your soul right now saying it's all yours. We're going into the spring equinox. We are literally in the place of a rebirth cycle. So, do you want it? Are you ready? Are you ready to believe how freaking powerful your connection can be? Are you ready to sit with your shadows and take action and bring them in as a creation of your new world, knowing that once you take your power back from your shadows, they no longer dictate how this new world is going to look? So super, super powerful card. I love the Empress card. And this again is just giving you confirmation of strength. This is the strength. A lot of you probably have this super tender, loving heart, that people underestimate and people probably abuse and walk all over. And maybe you're scared to show that side of you. But this is saying be strong and be authentic to who you are. Never stop being a loving person. Never stop being a loving person. Trust that if you start basically trusting your intuition, your feminine energy, your creatrix of your own world, trust if you start believing in that and start recognizing what no longer serves you and who no longer serves you. And I don't mean serves you, I mean in your life, who's pulling you back to their broken paradigms rather than you stepping forward. No matter what timelines you go through, you are going to find people who will always conflict you. And this is about you taking your power back and saying, I know my path. I'm as strong as a freaking lion. I'm as humble as a lion. I'm as gentle as a lamb. I'm all as one. And I am so prepared to have this strength within me and show that vulnerability of both being the lion and the lamb at the same time. For a lion is a leader, as we all know. And if you see up here, you've got the infinity symbol. Again, this is just confirmation of this infinite process of recognizing that vulnerability is strength. And we live in a society that says vulnerability is just going to hurt you all along the way, and that the only way to get through life is actually to be alone, or the only way to get through life is to close off your heart so no one can hurt you. Once we recognize our shadows, once we recognize, the people who we've led into our lives because we've not put boundaries in place or we've not known our exact power within, once we recognize that and we start following a path of divine alignment and start asking God to remove those that are no longer serving us or remove those people who are stopping us from living our divine purpose and our divine life, if you do that simple practice every night, trusting that anyone, Instagram followers, companies, people in your life, past, present, future timelines, all as one, please, I am ready to let go of anything that's stopping me from moving forward in my divine timeline and my connection with Source and my destiny. And then trust and recognize the signs and be strong. Be really freaking strong to walk away and know and trust your intuition that this is what needs to happen right now. It doesn't mean these people are not going to come back to you. It doesn't. It just means that right now that there is stuff in your life that it's time to be super strong to walk away from. And maybe they're voices in your head, maybe they're voices in the physical. But this is saying be strong. Be strong. You're a leader. Be strong. Okay. And then we have the Page of Cups. Okay, so I think I may have said 7 of Cups, so apologies for that. But can you see here, you've got the heart here. Again, you've got the ocean, so it's about going with the flow. And I love this. I don't know if any of you were younger and you were talking about your dreams and someone may have said to you, oh yeah, if pigs could fly. I certainly was given that. But basically, look, here's a flying pig and a sound bowl again. So this is almost this dude here, he's having kind of this childhood memory once again. We've got 2 cards here that are kind of mirror cards of saying, remember your... And I just got some really amazing energy coming through on this hand. So yeah, this is basically saying, remember your dreams as a child because they were given to you for a reason. And sometimes our journey is about remembering them again and creating that world that we were always supposed to have. But because of broken systems and unhealed conditioning and all the rest of it, it stops us from believing it exists. Well, this is a confirmation to say, what did you want to be when you grew up? What did you want to do? If there was a fancy dress box right now, what would you choose? And you know what? It's ridiculous. But if it's oh man, I wanted to be a Viking. Well, maybe this is telling you it's time to start going back to the simpler life of what it is to be around nature. Because, this is kind of how they lived. Just ask, how far has your life strayed based on a broken system? Because this is telling you to remember that everything was connected from the moment you entered this world. You came in with a mission, a purpose, and that was given to you as a child. And over the years, that dream, that fantasy, look, how many people tell you that dreams don't exist because theirs never came true, because maybe they put time pressures on it or they made the wrong decision. But if deep down, those that I'm talking to right now are being reminded of these childhood dreams, in whatever way, just trust it. Maybe it's a place that you want to travel to. Maybe it's a business that you've always wanted to run. Maybe it's a person that you've always wanted to be with. Whatever. Just saying here, it does exist, and start to ask yourself why it can't. Okay, and then we have the wheel. And you see, this is the perfect balance. You got the shadows, you got the light. Standing on the wheel is always turning and it's perfectly balanced, and the thing with the wheel card is that it's basically going through those shadows and bringing them in, regaining and re-strengthening your light within, and knowing that you're kind of untouchable. You're like, no, dude, I'm standing on a wheel and it can keep spinning and I'm just going to run a little bit faster, and because I'm balanced now, and I'm not going to be pulled into anyone else's negative energy because I trust my own space. And I love you for who you are and your opinions. But right now, my wheel is turning in the direction I want to turn. Now, here's a bit of a witch thing, right? If you turn your wheel in a clockwise way, you're always going to be winding forward. Obviously, the anti-clockwise is the other way. So if you are in the wheel and you are going forward, this is a technique. When you stir your tea next to your coffee, see which way you're turning your spoon, because ultimately this is your subconscious telling you whether you are winding backwards or forwards, and whether you are in a cycle of backwards or forwards. So just take note of little things like that, because once you become a little bit of an intuitive bruja, witch, whatever, and it's all within our bloodlines, you start to see things very differently, and you start to recognize that everything in our living day is basically a mirror. So again, you've got here the yin and the yang, the balance, the masculine and the feminine. And I'm talking to people right now who are resisting their feminine energy coming through based on what they associate, I think. Because the strength, I keep getting pulled to the high priestess. So once again, it's about trusting this to create this balance within your life. Okay, Spirit, can you give me the next cards that I need to know? And a message for the DM energy. You see, they were really chatty before, and now they're not so much. Okay. There we go. Okay, we have the Queen of Swords. So that's interesting. We have both the masculine and the feminine energy of the swords. So can you see, as you go through the sword suites, it's about basically recognizing your shadows. It's about recognizing other people's shadows and how they've affected your life. And when you finally... Okay. I feel like maybe this is... Yeah. I feel like maybe there's a Queen of Swords right now as well. Maybe a feminine energy in your life right now that is very much trying to lock up your spirituality, trying to keep you stuck in a system because it benefits them. I feel like the Queen of Swords is very much... Or maybe it's your feminine energy that you're trying to lock up, which relates to the rest of what I was saying. But this Queen of Swords energy, and this very interesting here, the locking up of the sound bowl behind bars. This is like, do you dare? Do you dare to use that sword and basically, remove this resistance to your feminine energy? And do you dare to pick up that sword and basically then say, okay, well, who is actually creating this noise in my head that the spiritual side is not something that I'm supposed to do? So this could be an actual physical person that is keeping you stuck in this, maybe, again, this is coming through now, maybe their religious beliefs, and it's stopping you from actually moving forward to your aligned path, which is running healers retreats in the middle of nowhere and bringing people sound medicine. Maybe this is your path, maybe this is what you're being pulled to, but the religious component in your family is stopping you because, this is definitely an energy it's trying to stop you from moving forward. So whether it's the physical form or whether it's this kind of shadow self that's coming up within you, this is the energy that's trying to stop you from moving forward. And deep down, again, this is about you trusting your intuition, whether it is a physical person or whether it is yourself. Ask yourself, why can't you explore something new? And whose voice is in your head to stop you from believing in this? Straight away. Lovers. Okay, so this is always a great card to sort of pull out when you're talking about yin and yang and balance, etc., etc. But this doesn't necessarily mean a partnership. it can do. And I'm not saying it's not going to mean a partnership at all. Like the Lovers card is very much love, so this could be about giving love to yourself. And by giving love to yourself will then start allowing you to bring in and integrate your shadows and basically realize who you were back then is not who you are now. And in fact, tomorrow, it won't be who you are tomorrow. And being caught and living in that past and that illusion of what you were in. And now love is everything. And the Lovers card can come up either because it's saying that there is a love coming into you right now when you've done a lot of this work and you've allowed this kind of creatrix and this feminine energy to come through with this connection to source. Because the person that you want to be with, again, write it down. Who do you want this to look like? I don't mean physical form. I mean, who do you want to share your life with? If you're ready for a relationship right now, write it down. If you think you are, you will find them. If you're not, it might take a little bit of time because you've got more work to do. Either way, this is about you trusting when you go all into these journeys and say, okay, I want to heal. I want this beautiful life. I know that I deserve it. Show me what I need to do to enable this to come to my life. And then you step back and see what lessons come up, what people come up, what raving spotlights come up on your life and your part to play in these lives, etc., etc. So this could very much mean it's time to start loving yourself more, like walking away from the stuff that's not serving you. And in turn, that will attract the most incredible, beautiful relationship into your life. As I said, this could also mean that you've done the work, congratulations, and something is coming into your life. With the energy of the rest of this card, I would definitely be saying that this is about loving yourself first. The biggest message is to become the partner that you want to attract. If you want someone who's connected to nature, is willing to have fun, and you want to have some inner child, healing, with your partner, and you grow together and you can basically act like idiots or whatever. Like, if that's what you want, then you've got to become that. So if there's something from stopping you from, I'm talking about inner child work now. I'm in Lapland, right? There's snow outside. So if you want someone you can snowball fight with or go sledging with, or I don't know, get to the top of a mountain, no sledge, so you just get on your backside and slide down the hill. And you kind of got to find that joy and that happiness within yourself first. So love yourself first, and the rest will just fall into place. Because the new earth, what we're birthing now as a collective, is nothing but love. And trust me, Gaia wants us to find our divine fit. Wants us more than anything to find our divine fit. And I'm not saying you have to be with a partner. I mean divine fit within our divine life. This is what pushes the frequency. When we're doing stuff that we love, this is what raises the frequency. Because finally, we're listening to our intuition and our hearts, which is powerful because, the system that we live in is very much about, well, you can't paint, or you can't be a musician, or you can't do this, or you can't do that. Why? Because it doesn't bring you money? Well, once you start going, you know what? Sorry, fuck the system. I actually do want to paint. And I'm sorry, but I'm turning my phone off. In fact, all of you, I've gone fishing. And I've gone fishing for as long as I frickin' want to, because it's time for me to love myself. It's time for me to connect with my God, myself, my spirituality, to come back out and rebirth what I want to rebirth, what I want to bring to my family, what I want to change as a generational changer. Okay. God, this is a very strong message. So, okay, and this is just confirmation. This is justice. Whoever's been keeping you stuck, whether it's yourself or a physical person, maybe some of you are going through a court battle at the moment, but this is about trust. Oh, I just got this beautiful bird that's just come up. Justice is on the horizon for all of us, actually, in the collective. But this is about balance, and this is about trusting the divine plan. We can live karma in a love space, or we can live it in a negative space. Like anything, it's duality, okay? Just live your path and trust that God has the rest. This is something that we forget. We feel like someone else has to be treated a certain way because they treated us a certain way. No, the biggest justice you can ever have served is walking away from those things that are keeping you stuck. Because those things that are keeping you stuck are a soul contract to keep you stuck, to see whether you are genuinely strong enough to want what you know is in your heart. So trust. Justice is coming. The justice is coming, and it's coming in fast. This is also sort of talking, around the sort of throat chakra colors as well. So maybe there's something that you actually need to voice before you get this balance. But either way, I'm getting like spirits touching me everywhere right now. This is just basically nudging, saying, yes, justice is coming. So just follow your path. Focus on what you want to achieve in life. Whatever your heart is telling you right now, whatever your soul is pulling you towards, let God take over the rest and just keep walking away. Keep shutting those peoples out. Keep shutting those voices out until you find that equilibrium, that balance within you, that balance, again, the scales of justice. Thank you for that. I feel like I'm talking to some people here who are writers, creatives. This is very much about, finding something that is a super powerful way for you to really release some energy. I'm hearing journaling, I'm hearing writing, I'm hearing maybe, writing recipes. This is about tapping into your spiritual knowledge from another side. As writers, as artists, we're channelers. Every single person walking this earth is a channeler. And this is just confirmation. So are you. Did you used to write when you were younger? Did you used to, come up with making aftershaves or perfumes, or made things when you were in playtime, when you were at the sandpit? Or this is just basically saying, if you start writing, if you start allowing this creative flow to come through and stop resisting it and trusting it, a really good way, if you want to start writing, is just to pick an object. Here it is. It's a calico bag. Just start writing descriptions about it. What is it? Is it a calico bag? Or is it a bag full of fairy dust that can take you in another life? We've all got it in us. We've just lost the ability to create that magic from our imagination. So this is saying it's there for you. Maybe when you start loving yourself, when you start opening this connection to spirit, when you start believing in what you're hearing, maybe this is going to come through for you. And also maybe there's a whole brand new career path for you as a spiritual author or a poet or a musician. You just never know. And that's what I mean. You create it. You want to be a writer? You want to get out of a 9 to 5 job and sitting at the desk writing spreadsheets? And you actually want to write about fantasy novels, dragons and fairies? And start doing it. Because only when you start doing it will the universe respond to what you want to create. You see, that sometimes is also about loving ourselves. Sometimes loving ourselves is to just start those projects that have been sitting in our hearts for so many years. Sorry, I'm watching this beautiful bird that's outside the window. Super special when nature interacts with you when you're doing a tarot reading. I never got this when I was in my apartment block. Just more the traffic. Three of Wands. Now, I'm speaking to some people here who might actually just need to go out for a surf. When was the last time you actually stood, looked at an ocean, and actually contemplated what was on the horizon? She is there with a surfboard. She's ready to go out. It's sunset, I reckon, this card. This is very much about just, again, you've got the water. So it's just about getting out there, picking up something that you've not done for a while, something that brought you so much joy, and just dusting it off and starting again and reclaiming that inner peace that you have. And you never know, it could open up brand new networks for you that actually align you. You see, the thing about life is like following a series of breadcrumbs. And if you keep going into the garage and keep looking at your rollerblades, or keep looking at, your fencing sword or your surfboard or your snowboard, if you walk into a room and ask your soul to direct you to something that, you know, that actually you need right now in your life, because it's actually going to bring you a lot of peace. You have to trust where your eyes look, because if it keeps looking at that board and you keep ignoring it, you know, you're ignoring what your soul is telling you right now, that what you need. And I'm saying bored, so I feel like I am actually talking to people who love to surf. And that card is super simple for me. It's just get out there and do the stuff that you love to do, because like attracts like. And once again, once we find that joy within ourselves again, we start finding that joy within life and that balance. Spirit, show me the messages. Okay. The Fool. Are you ready to go all in? Are you ready to trust that the universe has your back? Are you ready to lean in to your new chapter in life? Are you still holding on? Do you still have reservations because you're not trusting yourself could bring this incredible change to you? Because the universe is us and we are the universe, right? We co-create. So when we think we can't have what we have in our hearts, what we know to be true, it's because we don't trust ourselves to be magic enough to bring it in. Well, this card is saying whatever is in your heart right now, the divine guidance is, will you go all in and allow God to catch you? And when I say God, I mean the creation that you have with your higher self and connection with Source. Opening this, allowing this, is a huge moment when you finally trust this. Being in flow and letting your soul guide you. You see, your soul is always one step ahead. Always. And so when you realize that and you connect with that, you start to trust yourself a lot more with your decisions, with your intuition, with your vibe. You start to just know yourself and have that strength to then start saying, look, I get this is not you. I get this is not the way that you would do things, but you know what? I'm kind of up for letting, you know, my soul take over for a while and going all into this journey. Once you say those words, okay, God, higher self, guides, angels, dragons, whatever you want to do. Once you say I'm all in, magic happens. But you have to be prepared for what comes up when you go all in. And this sometimes can be a lot of shedding layers. And this sometimes can be, I say sometimes, quite often it can be hard work. Because there are so many things trying to pull you back in that this life doesn't exist. This is very, very much around the throat chakra. So, and I'm getting it here. So this is around the fear of that, you know, could you be happy? Could you trust yourself to finally be happy? Okay. Love the Fool card. Super powerful message from Spirit. Eight of Wands. Time for a bit of action and fast. Whatever's coming through for you now, please trust it. Trust it. Whenever I get the Fool card and the card that comes afterwards, you know, you've got the universe here, God saying, go all in, trust your intuition. And then you've got this card, which is like, and trust it fast. Because there are things ready to happen for you. But your resistance and belief that you actually deserve this, your resistance and not loving yourself that this stuff exists, your resistance to your connection with your feminine energy and your priestess energy, your resistance to believe that you can't create the world that you desire, your resistance to get out of the A and the B and plant your feet firmly where you want to be. This is what's causing the pain right now. You know, this resistance is what is stopping you from actually stepping into the most incredible journey, incredible life. And yes, as I've said, you have to go through those phases that are chapters, and not always are those chapters ones that are easy. But those chapters make this so much more worthwhile and powerful. They make this so much more aligned and lasting. And it is just incredible. So yeah, here we go. This one just about to jump out. Death and rebirth. As I said, we're going into spring equinox. And spring equinox is a super, super powerful time. This is also saying to me, you know, get out in nature. No, this card is very, very beautiful. You've got the shadows here, you've got the light. This is about death and rebirth cycle. You know, they say you have to let things go for it to be reborn. You know, the cycles of nature are exactly that as well. It's the death and rebirth. And this is about connecting to that, you know, and this is about recognizing that what's not serving you is very quickly right now being shown to you. It is literally being slammed in your face, but your resistance is stopping it. So this is about you having a death and rebirth cycle and trusting what is coming up for you, ready to leave your life, to step into the abundance that you deserve. Okay, what's the next card, Spirit? Five of Pentacles. Now you see here, she's got the key. She's got her head in her hands, a little bit like the Four of Cups energy, almost, you know, just like this, oh, I'm stuck. I don't know what to do. Spirit is saying you do know what to do. You do. It's you're resisting it. She could just get up, pick up that key, put it in the lock, and boom, open all her abundance. But no, she doesn't believe in herself. She doesn't believe that maybe she can lift that key. Maybe that key is too big for that lock. All of these things are haunting her with regards to what she can achieve when it comes to this. So yeah, this is basically saying you have the key. You have the master key to your abundance. And it is behind one of those doors right now that you're dreaming of. And can you look up? Can you take your power back? Again, we've got the solar plexus going on here. Can you look up? Take your power back. Dust yourself off. Have the strength to pick up that key. Put it in the lock, breathe deep, go all in. And when you open that door, trust what you will find. That is the message coming through from that one. Wow, this is such a powerful spread. Queen of Pentacles, and that's beautiful. After, wherever I just put that one, the Five of Pentacles. You see, she has turned the key. She did pick up the key and turn it into that door. And this is what she is now. She's sitting very much in her throne of abundance. Again, we've got a lot of nature going on here. Heart chakra. This green is the heart chakra. This is saying that the vulnerability, again, the strength in vulnerability, the connection with your feminine energy, connection with nature, going back inwards, finding that peace within yourself is the abundance. It's the queen of abundance. And this could also be signifying that you know right now that there is someone who is potentially a Queen of Pentacles coming towards you. And maybe with the Lover's card, that also symbolizes that. Is once you turn that key, once you finally trust, once you finally basically go all in, that the Queen of Pentacles is there for both yourself and maybe an external one as well. And this is the Queen of Abundance. This is abundance in love, happiness, everything you could ever wish for sits on this throne. But first you've got to pick up the key. You've got to get out of the funk and the resistance and pick up that freaking key to sit on your throne of the Queen of Pentacles. Boom. Confirmation. Ace of Pentacles. Whatever seeds that you've planted, whatever seeds that you planted many years ago that you may have lost faith that are never going to turn up. This is confirmation that it is, and that things take time and things take alignment. People take time. People take time to heal. Businesses take time to grow, or businesses take time to collapse, to regrow. What this is saying, whatever you've planted in your life, please just trust it, because it's coming for you and you're ready for it. But you have to make the action to turn that key. Once again, you have to remember what this abundance was that you wanted in your life and push away societal's version of abundance. Do you think abundance is money? Or do you think it's something else? We get so stuck on the word abundance thinking it's money. But it's so much more than that. If we're truly happy within our hearts, if we're truly doing something that our soul is guiding us to do, as I said, is always one step ahead. If we're truly aligning with that, then the rest just is taken care of. This is how we break a system. This is how we change our destiny, is by trusting that what we've planted in our dreams exists, and that eventually when it's time, we will reap the rewards of the pentacles, of the abundance that is coming for us. We will hold it in our hands. We will have our power, our purest divine power of the heart, solar plexus and the heart, abundance. Okay, Two of Cups, straight after the Ace of Pentacles. I am talking to someone here who is ready for an incredible love. Now, this is a collective reading, as I've said, so take it as it resonates. But this is a card of partnership. Again, it doesn't always have to be love. This could be business partnerships. But this is about something coming into your life that is going to be so balanced, is going to be so divine. It's going to be a blend. Maybe it's a blend of cultural differences. Maybe it's a blend of ideas, but it's going to be harmonious. It is. Please trust this. If you've always wanted to have a partner in a certain space, whatever you've planted in your dreams, in your heart, this is confirmation. Just take the time, do the work, and trust that it's incoming. I think that's a lot of our doubt, is that, things don't happen for us overnight. Sometimes they don't even happen over a year, 2 years. So we start to lose faith and we start to get pulled back into the one thing that we've worked really hard to walk away from, because we start to go, okay, well, maybe it doesn't exist. The moment we put that vibration out there, we're saying to the universe that we're not ready to trust that we're powerful enough to make these dreams come true. We're not ready to remember our truest magic and our frequency that we have with God. And this is quite painful in the journey, is trusting that patience and always being trusting and aligning every single day. And this is why I always recommend is to clear your energy every single day and to clear anything that's holding you back from allowing yourself to believe that this magic exists. Ace of Swords. So we've got another sword here. She's very much in her head, running up the stairs. There's lots of logical patterns coming through here. This is very much just being stuck in the head. Again, this comes very much with the resistance. And, you've got the shadow here coming out as well. Like this is just basically saying you can keep running up a spiral staircase towards a divine light. And occasionally you can stop and go back a few steps and then come back up again. But this is just about keep running towards something, not away from something. If you're running away from something, then there's something there that's always going to come back and haunt you. Keep running towards something, and sometimes when we're in our head is what keeps pulling us back down those stairs, but when we're in our heart, we keep running towards something because we believe it exists. Whatever decision you're in right now, whatever decision you choose, this is in sound bowls, snakes and ladders, this is basically saying it's the right one. If you truly trust your intuition, it's always going to be the right one. You see, this is where people get a little bit conflicted in the journey, is knowing that what is meant for us never passes us by. So you may take a crossroads, of course. You may go left when you were supposed to go right, but you were never supposed to go right, because maybe left pushes you back onto right eventually, and there was something for you to learn because you weren't quite ready to go right. This is the beauty. You're always in the right place at the right time, but it's about trusting your intuition. And this again has the water component. So once again, I'm talking to people who potentially either need to learn to go with the flow a little bit more, trust their intuition, or maybe their cleansing space is actually by the water, which, it's pretty amazing when you're just sat. I mean, I'm here on a frozen lake right now, and I still feel the energy of the water because I'm surrounded by snow. Nine of Pentacles. You remember when the Ace of Pentacles was there and it was picked and it was in the hands, and you see the roots here, the roots of what you've planted. This is just confirmation once again. You've got another owl, so the wisdom of the ancestors. The ancestors are our abundance, guys. When we start tuning into what gifts our ancestors have given us, and if it's something that comes really naturally to you, this is something that you have done in another dimension. This is something that you have done in another lifetime, or this is something that you've agreed to bring back to your family. This is the trusting of your gift and how it's going to grow on the tree. The abundance grows on the trees. Money grows on the trees. Love grows on the trees. Everything is about the trees, the wisdom of the trees, the cycle of the tree. This is about trusting your seeds are planted right now, and they will be ripe for picking. soon. But again, you have to trust this. You have to find your faith again, that this exists. This message is just screaming faith. Absolutely screaming, bring back the faith to what you know exists and what you've been told doesn't. Speaking of what exists, I actually pulled this for my single card tarot today as well. So this is just an incredible message. Look at this. This is abundance personified. This is family. This is community. This is happiness. This is everything that we strive for in life. This is just such a beautiful confirmation that this is just available for you. This is definitely what's there. So just being in trust and once again, listening to your heart. Opening your heart, being vulnerable to hear those messages in your heart is leading you to the most incredible, incredible abundance. Don't let your shadows guide you. These shadows here, they're pulling her ship. Okay, walk with your shadows. Let them free. Bring them back to yourself and look at them in a different way. You see, here is throat chakra as well. Now, the throat chakra very much holds a lot of our shadows. We didn't get to say what we wanted to say. We didn't speak our truth, and we took a job because we didn't want to take a job, or we took a job out of fear, or we jumped in a relationship out of, fear or being, I don't know. But this is throat chakra. This is when we don't speak our truth, how our shadows can pull us. When we speak our truth and we set those shadows free, they fly alongside us. They're no longer pulling us. They're flying alongside us. They're respecting us. And we tell them where to go. Two of Pentacles. Okay, so you can see she's kind of, trying to work out a bit of a balance here. You got the sacral chakra here, colors coming in here, and the root chakra. So this to me is about retuning and reprogramming your version of survival, of what it is to be in the physical world. This is very much she's kind of struggling to balance them. So this is confirmation that maybe if you're feeling back pain at the moment, maybe your root chakra needs a bit of a clear. Maybe you should look at the sound bowls for that as well. Because again, if you look at YouTube has some really good stuff, but just remember to ask your soul to guide you to the right one. Because there is also a lot of crap out there as well. But, root chakra clearing can be done with sound bowls, and it can be done with tuning forks. So maybe look at the frequency of that, and it could also be your your sacral as well. So whatever's stopping you from balancing at the moment in your kind of abundance space, it's because of something that's going on here. Your root chakra is your survival instinct. It's basically about, what we're all led to believe that we need to do to be considered successful, or considered from a point of view of just finding a way to survive. And this is often the message I get from the ancestors is, we did this so you didn't have to. Let us guide you. If you are having problems with your fear of survival right now, of where you are going to be, then and you're up for it, start talking to your ancestors, asking them to guide you. Because as I said, is they have lived a life of fear. They've lived a life of making decisions based on survival instinct. And they're here to tell us that we did this so you don't have to. And all we do is see you repeating the same mistakes of being stuck, not doing what you love because you don't believe that that can bring you happiness and joy, because we're so stuck in this whole money paradigm. So yeah, this is the balance of that, basically working out, okay, well, where am I stuck? Is my root chakra blocked? Is this what's stopping me from actually believing in anything in the higher chakras, which is the sort of feminine energy chakra? The heart is where it all meets. And your your sacral as well is where we hold a lot of regret and a lot of guilt. So a really good exercise is actually when you're lying down at night, is just go in to each of the chakras. So your crown, your third eye, your throat, your heart, your solar, your sacral, which is, your baby making area, and the root chakra, which is at the lower part of your back. So yeah, just go in and ask, are they blocked? And if they are, like, what's coming up for you? one of the best ways we can heal ourselves and align our chakras is actually start talking to them and asking them what we need to do to unblock them. And once again, once you start recognizing this stuff exists and allow your soul to lead you a bit, you will find the healing. We have all the answers and we can heal ourselves. You just have to trust of where you're being pulled right now. King of Wands, baby. Masculine energy, you got the lion again of strength, you know? It's time to remember your magic. It is time to step up for you and your feminine energy, your magical gift, your spiritual connection. You want the life that you know exists, then it's time. It is time to start putting your action and your trust in your own ability to pull this in. Walk away from everything that is no longer serving you. Walk away. You see? She's walking away. Also throat chakra colors. And that came through then. Speak your truth. Speak your truth and always trust it's from the heart. If you speak your truth, it's always from the heart. If you don't speak your truth, it stays within and starts eating you up inside and causes anger and resentment and pain, and that then infiltrates the rest. Okay, so yeah, this is heavily on the throat chakra. So if you guys have stuck with me this long, then this is about clearing your throat chakra. And sometimes we don't get closure, everybody. Sometimes we just don't, but it doesn't mean we can't speak our truth. Another great technique, if you're interested, close your eyes, call their soul to you, speak what you want to say to them, and then allow it to go. And as I said, trust that everything that is not serving you anymore, once you start taking these actions, will be removed from your life. If we keep it in our life, if we keep holding on to it, then there's an attachment there to something that's not healthy. There's an attachment there to something that we should be walking away from. And that attachment is causing us to have doubts in every other way. Page of Swords, inner child work. Go back to those dreams, those books that you read. Remember those ideas that you once had. Maybe they were written down on a beer mat. Maybe they keep coming up to you. This is about trusting it. It's got wings. Believe in it. If it's in your heart, it's for a reason. Solar Plexus, once again, please believe in the ideas that you're being given right now, because this is your spiritual power. This is your power within. And this is an incredible thing to start healing in the masculine space, because once you can heal your solar power, once you can heal your solar plexus and you take your power back, you start revealing that you can then be strong enough to fucking speak your truth. Everything's kind of trying to stop me right now. But yeah, this is about taking your power back, guys. So I know I'm speaking to some incredibly powerful core masculine energies right now because I'm smiling. I know that if you've made it this far in the recording, and I'm nearly finished, one more card left, which is hilarious because I've got 1 minute 21 on my recording. Hugely powerful energies I know that I'm speaking to. Why? Because every single part of this is saying that you are on the cusp of something so freaking incredible to change in your life if you just trust it. And trust for ourselves, for our ability to bring in the happiness that we deserve after everything that we may have done in our life is a huge, huge shadow to deal with. You know, when you go from what have I done wrong in my life to what have I done right in my life, or oh my goodness, I've done something so right in my life to be living this incredible abundance, that is when you take your power back, because no one else can touch you, because you know what abundance is. Abundance is waking up every day and not being stuck. Abundance is looking at, the shape of a leaf and it inspiring you in some way and being able to have the space and the time and the power to say, you know what, I just want to sit with the trees for the day. This card is also saying that if there's anything right now that you are thinking of studying, I don't know why I'm saying this, sort of breath work or something in that space. This is also saying that you already have all the knowledge that you need. But obviously this is very much a yes, go ahead, open up that door, but try not to kind of sign on to these, you'll do what you do, but this is basically saying you have all the wisdom within you. So go ahead, read some stuff, open up that door, but then ask your own knowledge to come back to you, because if it's something that's pulling you right now, as I said, if it comes naturally to you, if it's in your heart, it's because it's supposed to be, and this is part of you in the new earth. And the final card, which I absolutely love, weaving new traditions. Even if you don't want a family, this is about weaving the traditions together, the new version of Pentacles, the new version of abundance, the new freedom of what it is to sort of be in collaboration with each other and actually working as a team, which I think is just so beautiful, because that's what awaits. That's exactly what awaits for us all, is when we finally believe in all of this. I'm getting an itchy nose again, so this is confirmation. We're here to build new versions of things. We're here to build a new version of Earth. Anyone who is walking around and has had the awakening or is trying to resist it, we're here for a reason, and that is to ground in love and understanding, deal with our shadows, heal them so our kids don't have to, or any kids that we associate with. The children need to be free to have imagination and dreams, and we do too. And this is about that connection once again, is find your dreams, live your dreams, so that any children you come into contact with, you can lead them and say, don't worry, no matter who tells you they don't exist, I'm walking proof that they did. And I was like you once. I was like you. I didn't believe, and I stopped believing. But then all of a sudden I remembered. And I remembered, and I found my faith. I found my faith. And by finding my faith, that this magic exists, I remembered my dreams. So there you go. Incredible reading for you, DMs. Massive, massive signs from the universe. And I love you dearly. And I know how hard this journey is. And I know how hard it is, in particular, for the masculine energy, because it has been so warped by other components. The wounded masculine, the wounded feminine. But it's time. It's time to forgive yourself in any way that you are not true to your soul. It's time to go in and find that person and love them, because who you are each day is a choice. And who you walk away from each day is a choice. Every timeline you jump through, you will find a more healed version of the person that you've just left. So, I love you dearly, and I am sending you so much peace in your heart and energy from the divine channel of remembering. Gaia is calling you. And are you ready to step up? Because if you are, we're all here to hold each other's hands and help us get through stuff.